Hi, it's Kevin Thomas Morgan here again. I just wanted to tell you briefly about my weekly newsletter on the link between aphantasia and Aspergers. This was a big surprise to me. Anyway, a while ago, Libby, who works in a store near where I tend to write my books, came out and said to me one day, "Kevin, when you think of something like an apple, do you see it in your head?" I thought for a second and I thought, no, I don't, I said to Libby. She said, nor do I. But all my family, they tell me that they can actually see an apple when you think about it. And when they read a book, they see the characters going through their adventures and I don't. And I said, well, nor do I. That's so strange. And so I thought about, what do I see when I read a book or think of an apple? I guess it's sort of a gray screen, and somehow those things are behind the screen. I know the movie's going on, or the book. I know the apple is there, though I tend to think of Golden Delicious or Granny Smith, or what kind of apple is it, because I can't see it unless that is stated. Anyway, I'm very high on the Aspergers score using the AQS scoring system that I will link to this video down below. And to my surprise, there turned out to be a link between Aspergers and aphantasia. Normally, people without aphantasia represent 1 to 4% of the population, whereas in the case of Aspergers or autism, about 20% or more have aphantasia. It doesn't mean we can't enjoy stories or can't think about apples, we just can't see them in our head. And this was a huge surprise to me. So I talked about this in one of my newsletters, and I will link to that newsletter, which talks about many other issues concerning the senses, in the text below the video. Anyway, that was it, and I thought if you have Asperger's, it might be interesting to think about whether you also have aphantasia. From Kevin Thomas Morgan, the one who has a high Asperger's score, and I'm really glad I do, because it helped me a lot in science. I didn't become emotionally involved with my ideas, and therefore my emotions didn't impair the logic of my conclusions. I think it's very good for that. But when it comes to marketing or talking to people in sales or whatever, well, that's a whole nother story. When it comes to diplomacy, that is not my strong point, I'm afraid, and I mentioned that in the newsletter. Okay, that's it. Over and out. From Kevin Morgan, talking about aphantasia in relationship to Asperger's or autism. Okay, bye.